Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I am a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you are absolutely in love with. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to chat all about stylist transitions and how I handle these situations inside of my salon. So this week's struggle was one of my stylists came to me and told me that she really wants to rent a salon suite. So, of course, this is every salon owner's dread, right? When our team comes to us and they tell us that they want more or that they are going to move on from our salon, it's so hard not to take that personal, especially if you are really working so hard on your culture and creating the right work environment and when you're pouring into your team. If you've been feeling overwhelmed and overworked from owning your salon, you're not alone. If you're like many salon owners, you wanted to build a salon that makes you feel fulfilled, passionate, and something that brings you freedom and flexibility into your life. But you ended up being exhausted from taking on all your business tasks alone. It doesn't have to be this way. It's time for change. The Elevated Salon Owner Collective will help you do just that. You'll automate your salon, implement solid business systems, transform your salon culture, and take charge of your online presence to regain freedom back into your business. I'd love for you to experience the freedom and fulfillment that you've desired when you decided to create your business. To learn more, visit opulentbeautypro.com/elevate or click the link in the show notes. I think when somebody comes to us and they tell us that they want to move on, for me personally, this is something that is huge. Transparency and honesty when it comes to the growth of my individual stylist business, I would say is probably one of the most important things for me inside of my salon. I want my team to be completely honest and to let me know how they're feeling in my business. And this also shows me when my team can come to me with these things, it makes me feel like they trust me, which means I'm doing a good job. I think in the past, some of the most hurtful experiences I've had is when people haven't been honest about why they want to move on or moving on in general. I've had plenty of stylists who literally have just like packed up their stuff and moved on without even saying goodbye to me or even talking to me about it. And I think when something like that happens, again, it's hard not to take that personally, right? Especially when you try to build relationships with your team and when you are, again, pouring into your team. So this week, one of my stylists came to me and she's like, I think I really want to rent a salon suite, which I am like super excited for because I love when my team wants to move to one of my salon suites instead of going someplace else, right? That they still want to stay connected to me. So as a salon owner, or I should say most salon owners, what ends up happening is this instills fear, right? There's so many things that come up, emotions, different feelings that can feel really scary, right? Like, we're going to lose revenue. Are the other team members going to want to go with her? Is she going to talk about how amazing it is? Am I going to lose this relationship with this team member? There's a lot of things that run through our head. I think great leadership is removing your personal emotions and being able to actually have emotional regulation when it comes to situations like this happening in our business, right? It's so easy to go to that place of freaking out instead of really going to the place of looking at the facts. So I listened to her and I went into my office and I really kind of looked at the hard facts because she is a newer stylist. She's still building. And with any person on my team, I always want to do what's best for them. And I always want to make sure whatever moves they make are going to be the right move, even if it isn't going to benefit my business. Because I deeply care about every single person that is on my team. And if this is a goal or an aspiration for my stylist, then me as a leader, I want to help her get to the place that she wants to go so she can experience that growth and hit her goals. I think a lot of salon owners go into panic mode and then they fire somebody, or they then begin to resent the person and sabotage them or don't want to help them move on. That's not the case for me. The case for me is wanting to do what's best for the people that are working for me. So I went in the office, I took a look at her numbers. By looking at her numbers and the facts of her business, I had a conversation with her and I said, I just don't think that your business is quite ready yet. But I think if this is something that you want to do, then we actively have to sit down and create a game plan to get you where you need to go and to get you to a place where you can move on to this next step that is a goal for you. So we ended the conversation Monday, and then I kind of had time to go home and collect my thoughts, think about the situation, digest the conversation, work through my feelings. Again, this is something that I try to do in private, and I do have people that I confide in, that I trust, that are on the same level, of course, for me as a salon owner, because situations like this can feel really tricky, right? Again, there's so much emotion wrapped up into when people want to leave our business or want to go and open and do their own thing. I really wanted to know, and I had sat down and had another conversation with her and asked her some more questions. Do you not feel successful in my business? Are you not happy? Did I do something to trigger the desire to leave? These are all questions I like to ask so that I can make my business better, or I can course correct and really solidify what I'm doing inside of the salon. And she said, no, I just see my parents have their own businesses, and this is something that I aspire to do, and this is something that I want to do. And I was like, okay, great. I would love to help you get there. Let's make a game plan and let's go over the strategies and steps, get you to a place where your revenue is solid so you can afford rent. We have to work on your marketing plan, and you have to work on setting up your business systems and structures. So if this is something that you want to do, then let's start implementing the things that need to happen to get you there. And that is how I handled this week's business stressful situation. And we're going to work on it. And maybe she will still want to leave. Maybe she won't. She went home and discussed things with her parents and was like, my parents said they think I should wait. And I, as well, I went over the facts with her of her business. I really just don't think it's the right time for her. But again, we can get her there. So as a salon owner, where do you stand when it comes to people wanting to leave your business? How do you handle it? What feelings does it stir up? What fear is ignited when you think about this? And what kind of business systems can you put into place in order to try to retain your team for as long as possible, try to create loyalty with your clients as well, which is something that we're going to be going over in the Elevated Salon Owner Collective. This year for me, after listening to a book, an audiobook, it's How to Never Lose a Client, has really sparked some ideas and really kind of brought to the forefront of really focusing on client loyalty as a brand inside of my salon. So that is what we're going to be focusing on this month's call in the Elevated Salon Owner Collective, is client loyalty and building that relationship with the client as a brand and as a salon. And how are you doing that for your salon? Like, what are some things that you're implementing to really care for the clients coming in your business? Loyalty programs, different things that you are doing to build a solid relationship with your customers. What do you do as a leader, and how do you behave as a leader when your team really is sharing their deep interests and their aspirations with you? Do you freak out and change your behavior towards them? Do you fire them? Or do you behave in a really great, strong leadership way and help them get to their goals and achieve what it is that they want to achieve? If you loved today's episode, please share with your favorite salon owner, and make sure you subscribe and leave us a review. And we will be speaking to you next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevate podcast. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. The Elevate podcast is hosted by me, Patricia Nowakowski, and is produced by Opulent Beauty Pro. To receive my free business guides, visit opulentbeautypro.com/free or click the link in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Pro or at Patricia_Nowakowski_OBS. If you love this show, please consider subscribing, and we will see you next week.